Eurogold is driven by being the best civil engineering contractor in the Northwest, ensuring its clients are given the highest level of service that they deserve. Eurogold work in a wide range of industry sectors, including house building, highways, commercial and industrial build.
La Vita is an award-winning, independently run Italian restaurant. Located on Rose Lane in the heart of Liverpool, real Italian-style dishes, using the best ingredients, skillfully prepared by our chefs. Come and try our serious Italian experience.
Mulligan's Funeral and Monumental Services are a family-owned funeral service first established by the late Brian Mulligan in 1996. We provide funeral homes in Gorton, Manchester and Reddish, Stockport, and we pride ourselves on giving a friendly and professional service to all the families who use our service. Contact us on 0161 432 0809.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show. This week we're at the Brian Boru Club in Ashton-in Makerfield for a great night's entertainment. But first, recently we attended the opening of the new Irish Consulate in Manchester. The new consulate will serve the whole of the north of England. Minister Simon Coveney cut the ribbon to declare the consulate officially open, and afterwards there was an opportunity for everyone to meet Minister Coveney and the Consul General Sarah Mangan.
Okay, when you're ready.
Okay. There we go.
We are delighted to have opened in our temporary offices here in Manchester and to have Irish Minister for Foreign Affairs Simon Coveney here today to mark the occasion. Minister Coveney arrives here fresh from a number of engagements in Washington DC and in New York, including in relation to Ireland's chairing of the UN Security Council, and I think it speaks to the importance of the relationship with this part of the world that his next port of call is here in Manchester. I am delighted to have many of you joining us, not just from here in Manchester, but from across the north of England. I'm really grateful that you came here today. And I make special mention of Des Hurley, Grace Kelly, Steve Prossel and Stuart Graham, the wonderful musicians from Leeds Irish Arts Foundation who have been entertaining us today.
That's the great Dennis Irwin on
Great Dennis Irwin, absolutely. Yeah. Well, he comes from my home city.
Gwine Ushla, agus a Corja is on our mórdamsa a bheith an seo inniu an ócáid special to seo. This is a very special occasion for me as a government minister to reinforce so much that is positive about the relationship between Britain and Ireland. This is a really significant and also very positive day for British-Irish relations, but also for Irish people living across the United Kingdom, particularly in the north of England. When you take time to really understand the Irish connection with cities like Manchester, Liverpool, Newcastle, Leeds, Sheffield, the Irish communities there are still so strong, and the history of Irish contribution to those communities is even stronger. And so what we're doing today really is investing in the future, putting a mini embassy effectively in Manchester to cover the north of England, the northeast, the northwest, the Humber, Yorkshire, to make a very clear statement that we want to actually build on something that's very, very valuable. And when you think about 1 in 3 people in Greater Manchester are of Irish descent. 40% of people in Liverpool are of Irish descent. We have deep roots here, and we need to ensure that we protect those and that we use that foundation to build very positive relationships into the future. And look, everybody knows that headlines in the last number of years in the context of Britain and Ireland, Dublin and London, from a government perspective, has been somewhat strained, linked to Brexit and some of the things that have flown from that. But I think today is a reminder, actually, that despite the challenges, the political challenges that we have to overcome, the closeness between Britain and Ireland is something that really has value. It needs to be protected, invested in, nurtured, and the Irish communities here are so strong still in terms of their connection with Ireland, but also the contribution that they make in England. And I'm here to reinforce that, and I'll be back many times again in the future. But to have a permanent embassy effectively serving the north of England with a team focused on that, working with Enterprise Ireland who are here, and many others in the arts community as well, I think that's very valuable.
Minister, thank you so much for joining us today, and great to see you in Manchester.
Great to be back, and I look forward to being back again. The story of Manchester and its connections with my home city of Cork, in terms of football players, business connections. There's just a lot to enjoy every time you come to Manchester. It's great.
We are so delighted to be officially opening the Consulate General for the North of England and to have Minister Simon Coveney here with us to open it. I think it's a real testament to the importance of the relationship between Ireland and this part of the world that the Minister has come across to officially launch us. And, to have the Consulate here at all. I mean, as the Minister has said, we probably should have opened years ago. The connections are so deep and so strong, and the potential of the relationship is so huge. So I'm really looking forward to getting going, to meeting the Irish community, to looking at the opportunities that are there for trade and for culture as well. I mean, I think one of the lovely things that we had today was some musicians from the Leeds Irish Arts Foundation, and remembering those long established cultural links that we have between this part of the world and Ireland. Basically, now that today is out of the way, we'll be into the office on Monday looking at diaries, so I'm hoping to get the length and breadth of the north of England in the next few months. I have been to Liverpool 3 times already. I have been to Leeds, but next on the agenda we have Sheffield, we have Newcastle, Middlesbrough, and all places in between. So I'm really looking forward to getting out. Bolton as well. Yeah, quite a few places to get to.
And of course there's a huge Irish congregation right across the north of England.
That's correct, yeah. Look, it's what we keep saying, we're pushing an open door. We have nearly a tidal wave of opportunities coming towards us. So what I would be saying to the community is bear with us as we find our feet and as we get established. We are still at the moment in temporary offices, but we are moving hopefully within the next 12 months to a lovely space that we'll share with Enterprise Ireland, and that will be known as Ireland House. So we'll have an Ireland House in the north of England where we'll be able to welcome people in. But we're not quite there yet. For now, we're getting out and about, we're meeting the people, and then give us a year and we'll have all the people coming into us. For the moment, any of those kind of consular services to do with passports or anything like that, that's still being looked after by our embassy in London. They've given us the space, I suppose, to get established, to get out and to meet people, to make the connections. But at the moment, our office space is just too small. We don't have room, sadly, to invite people in, but give us 12 months and we'll be there. We have a website, so if you look up dfa.ie/Manchester, you will find us, and through the website you'll get all our contact details.
Andy, a very special day for the Irish in Manchester.
Massively special. Obviously there's a huge Irish community here. Obviously we've got the Heritage Centre up there in Cheetham Hill. I think people will look at this new presence for the Irish government here in the heart of Manchester, and it will mean so much to them. So I've just been thanking Minister Coveney on behalf of everybody here, and myself with Irish blood myself. Yeah, it's a very proud day.
Yeah, and of course you'll be hoping to get over to Ireland at some stage now and, build the relationships.
Yes, we're planning to go next year. Not Manchester just on our own, but we're going with our friends from Liverpool, because we thought, there's such a connection between Ireland and the Northwest as a whole. So we're going to go in force, hopefully persuade our football clubs to come with us and make a big impact next year. It's partly about trade, but it's also about that people-to-people connection. Brexit has got in the way of things a little bit, and we would want to say to the people of Ireland, people here haven't changed. They're the same that they've always been, and we just need to reset things as we go forward.
I think it's a very positive step today to see the consulate opening here in Manchester, and hopefully it will encourage trade between Ireland and the north of England.
Yeah, that's absolutely the hope. You build the good people-to-people links, and then the trade comes from that. I mean, there's already a huge presence. If you look at the buildings around city centre Manchester, the Irish construction sector has had a big role in rebuilding Manchester in recent times, but an increasing presence in the digital sector. So already there's a huge foundation there, but we can do even more as we're both building towards net zero. I think the northwest of England and Ireland can really do that together.
Lovely to speak to you today, Andy, and lovely to meet you as well on our new Irish TV show.
Thanks very much. It's a privilege to be on, so great and good to have such an Irish presence here in the heart of Manchester today.
It's great news for the Irish diaspora in the north of England to have the consulate on their doorstep. We're going to take a little break. Coming up in part 2, we'll be at the Brian Boru Club in Ashton-in Makerfield.
Eurogold is driven by being the best civil engineering contractor in the Northwest, ensuring its clients are given the highest level of service that they deserve. Eurogold work in a wide range of industry sectors, including house building, highways, commercial and industrial build.
La Vita is an award-winning, independently run Italian restaurant. Located on Rose Lane in the heart of Liverpool, real Italian-style dishes, using the best ingredients, skillfully prepared by our chefs. Come and try our serious Italian experience.
Mulligan's Funeral and Monumental Services are a family-owned funeral service first established by the late Brian Mulligan in 1996. We provide funeral homes in Gorton, Manchester and Reddish, Stockport, and we pride ourselves on giving a friendly and professional service to all the families who use our service. Contact us on 0161 432 0809.
Welcome back. Now, the Brian Boru Club in Ashton-in Makerfield is the oldest Irish club in the UK. It was first formed in 1889. The Castlemore Ceili Band from Deane, County Tipperary, travelled over to join some of the local musicians for a great night's music and fantastic dancing.
When I was a child, my parents used to come in here when I was quite young, sitting around in the corner as you come in the club. My dad used to sing. I've also been interested in Irish music through my dad and my mum. She played the accordion. My dad who came over from Burr when he was very young in Offaly, and my grandparents as well were from. One was from Burr and the other one was from Kildare, Naas, on one side, and my other side of the family were also Irish connections. So it's just really, I was brought up with the music. I was always looking to come into the club from an early age. It was kind of exciting when you came in, as a youngster. I never really had the confidence to learn the Irish music, an instrument, but I did love the music and loved the songs and dances. But I came in quite regularly and just really felt at home, even though I was quite young. After a while, I joined the committee and we had Ceili music on night and then dances and free and easy on a Sunday, and I used to do the compere for quite a few years. There is a tremendous Irish history. As I say, when the club was opened, there was a lot of emigrants in the late 1800s. For the pits, it's a very common mining area around here, the Wigan area, and there was a big disaster called the Maypole disaster. It's well documented, where 76 people lost their lives. A lot of those were from the west of Ireland in Mayo. It's some of those people that founded the club. That disaster was in 1908, and the history of the area since then, there's been waves of immigrants. Obviously, we're banging between Manchester and Liverpool, which are both heartlands for Irish immigrants over the years. So we're kind of like spread around half from East St Helens, Wigan, St Helens, Manchester, all the local communities really. We're only 15-20 minutes away from all of those. A lot of businesses have struggled obviously with COVID, with our club in particular. It is the oldest Irish club in Great Britain, which we have records going back to the very beginning, from 1889 when the club was originally formed. It's struggled obviously since the last few years have been a struggle. COVID really was kind of a real turning point for us. The previous committee, Larry Larry Broderick, and his wife, and Michael and Damien, they kind of sent out a call to us to kind of suggest that we really needed to. It was a time for a change, if you like. The impetus was struggling with the club, so quite a few of us got together, and a sort of younger generation came in, and we've kind of really, the local community, everybody has helped out and tried to bring new life into the club. And the key really is keeping the generations, the second generations, and the older generation, of course, and the local community from Ashton as well, all together and develop the club and get back to some of the fantastic nights that we're seeing tonight.
Sean, what a wonderful night of music here tonight.
Absolutely fantastic. I'm really made up to see the club absolutely full again. It's exactly what we need, and just to give it the impetus to start us off again, it's absolutely fantastic.
With music like that, you're going to have to lock people out.
Well, we're going to have to do. It's great to see the dance floor so full and to see the floor bouncing once again. That's right. I thought at one point that we were maybe going to end up in the cellar, but I'm not sure. We managed to keep hold of it anyway. It was brilliant. Castlemore Ceili Band, that was one of the very first bands that Billy Greenall, who obviously taught us all our music. So that band is probably going now well over 30 years. I've been playing with them probably for about 20 years now. And obviously Billy started the band when he was here, and he played in the 80s and the 90s with the band. And obviously Ceili music itself, it's about involvement, and it's about dancing on the floor, and it just to come off the back of the pandemic and so on, it's great to see everyone finally once again being able to do a bit of Ceili dancing.
It feels alive again. I must admit, tonight it was really emotional to see such a full club, like the old days, like when I was a youngster and going back years, and also for Ceili as well, and fantastic music, some of the best music I've ever heard, and it's fantastic. It's everybody. It's what it's all about. It's the history of the club. It's the soul of the club, and we just want to really try and keep that going. I mean, one of the most important parts of the club has been the funding from the Irish government over the years, the ESP, and it was great today to meet with Simon Coveney, the Foreign Affairs Minister, and have a chat with him about the club. He actually mentioned us in his speech as the oldest Irish club in Wigan, and we're hoping that he's going to come for a visit at some point soon, and the rest of the staff there that have been so supportive.
The very first music teacher was a gentleman from Limerick called Danny Barry. He was very heavily involved, a button key accordion player from Limerick, and he was heavily involved over here, and he had to go back to Ireland. And then my grandmother, Rosa Grady, she managed to get hold of Billy Greenall to take over from Danny Barry, and straight away, you know, the word got around that there was going to be music classes here in the club, and it just went from strength to strength. Billy Greenall, he died unfortunately there about 18 months ago, and this is a memorial night. None of us could get over to the funeral in Nina. He went over to Nina from St Helens obviously about maybe 15-20 years ago, and we just couldn't get over for the funeral, although we did hold Zoom memorials and so on. But to see actually people in the flesh, it's absolutely amazing. We've got visitors over from Nina. Sean McCabe came over and Michael McCabe came over, Kath Kilgannon, she's come over as well. So it's fantastic to see such prominent people coming over to remember Billy as it was and all the music that he created here.
I used to play with the band years ago, before I moved to Ireland, myself and Billy actually, and yeah, no, it's lovely to be here. It's a great night.
When Billy went back to Ireland, you both done music over there?
Yes, myself and Billy played, living in Tipperary, and we played in a place called Gary Kennedy, Larkins, and we played every Sunday night for the last 20 years.
Siobhan, I know that you've been involved here with the Brian Boru Club since you were a little girl. Tell me about all that and growing up here and going to the music classes.
Well, we probably had the best childhood anyone could have ever had, to be honest. We started here, I was 4 when I walked through the doors here, and Billy Greenall was here teaching us all. So for me, I have 3 older brothers who were all playing, so I had to get in on the action.
But the dancing was amazing, Martin, absolutely brilliant. You know, us as youngsters doing the music also did the dancing too. You know, we did the set dancing. I think we went to London a few times. We even went to Ireland, yeah, dancing in competitions as well. Yeah, so along with the music, the dancing came with it.
We're really pleased with the turnout that we've got, and we've got all our children, a lot of our own children have come with us, and you know, some of the older ones are still here kind of, you know, supporting us as well, so it's lovely, really good turnout, and we're pleased for the Brian as well.
We still have the links and the connections, and please God, that'll never leave us. I hope not anywhere. And that started with Billy. You know, all of us come in here, sat in this room on a Saturday afternoon, from tin whistles to fiddles, banjos, flutes, everything. Not a child on earth had the childhood we had here, you know. And our heritage started at home, but it was also brought into our Irish music class as well.
The pandemic's kind of stopped the music for a while, so we were a bit rusty when we started earlier on, but yeah, it's coming back now, so hopefully we'll get a few more reels and jigs out, yeah.
Club, it's always been like a focal point for Irish music. We want to try and keep that heritage going as much as we can. We obviously want to try and encourage more people to come in, build membership, and obviously keep the cultus side going. Cultus in here has been going for 50 years next year. So in February next year, Ashton Cultus is celebrating 50 years. So we want to try and, you know, we have to build on that. We can't just let it go and let it die. We have to build on it, encourage more musicians. My own children now, I want them to try and learn as much as they can, and just build on that. And nights like this is what we need to try and enthuse people to come back into the club.
What we did try to do, since we resurrected the club, if you like, was try and keep the connections from the older generations and the older people and the younger generations. So we come up with the idea of signing a flag, a tricolour. There's about 180 names on there so far. We've now got 349 members of the club, paid members, and we're looking to try and get up to 500, which would be fantastic. So the idea is we're getting all the people connected with the club, supporters, volunteers and members to sign the club, and then we're going to frame it to keep the kind of continuity of the club going.
It's great to see so many people out enjoying themselves again, and well done to everybody at the Brian Boru Club. Well, that's it for this week. Henry McGlade is back with his show next Thursday evening at 7 o'clock from County Mayo, and we are here as usual at 7:30 with the Irish in the UK. Until then, take good care.